Why you overthink at night. You're lying in bed right now, eyes closed, body completely still, and your brain is on fire. It won't stop. You keep thinking about something you said 2 weeks ago, something someone did to you 6 months ago, a decision you haven't made yet, a conversation that might never even happen. And the worst part, you know you should sleep. You're tired. You want to sleep. But something inside your head just won't let you. So you just lie there, staring at the ceiling, trapped inside your own mind. This video is going to explain exactly why that happens. And by the end of it, you're going to understand your own brain in a way that most people never do in their entire lives. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you will change the way you see yourself forever. Let's start with something simple. Think about your entire day today. You woke up, probably checked your phone before you even got out of bed, scrolled through notifications, saw something that slightly bothered you but kept scrolling anyway, got up, got ready, maybe went to work or school, talked to people, dealt with small problems, made small decisions, ate something, came home, watched something, and then finally lay down to rest. That whole time, from the moment you woke up to the moment you closed your eyes. How many times did you actually sit in silence and just think? Probably 0. We live in a world that is designed to keep you distracted every single second. Your phone, your screen, your music, your podcasts, your social media, everything is fighting for your attention every moment of the day. And here's the thing nobody tells you. All that noise isn't just entertainment. It's actually a way you protect yourself from your own thoughts. Without even realizing it, you spend your entire day running away from the things inside your head that feel uncomfortable. That fight you had with someone and never fully processed. That embarrassing thing that happened and you just tried to forget. That big decision you keep avoiding. That fear you don't want to face. That sadness you never let yourself fully feel. You don't deal with any of it during the day because you're too busy, or because it's too uncomfortable, or because there's always something else to look at. So your brain does something remarkable. It saves it all. Every single thing you avoided, every emotion you pushed down, every thought you didn't finish, your brain quietly stores all of it, like a loyal assistant who never forgets anything. And then night comes. The phone goes down. The lights go off. The noise stops. The world goes quiet. And for the first time all day, there is nothing to distract you. And that's when your brain opens the drawer, and everything you stored during the day comes flooding out at once. That one thing you said at lunch, was it weird? Did they take it the wrong way? What were they thinking? You replay it, you analyze it. You imagine 10 different versions of how it could have gone. You feel embarrassed all over again, even though it's been 12 hours, and the other person probably forgot about it already. But your brain hasn't forgotten. Your brain never forgets. And here's where it gets really interesting. Your brain has a specific system that activates when you're not doing anything. Scientists call it the default mode network, but forget the scientific name. Let me explain it in a way that actually makes sense. Imagine your brain is a massive city. During the day, that city is busy. Traffic everywhere, people rushing, buildings full of activity. Everything is focused on what's happening right now. React to this. Deal with that. Pay attention here. Make a decision there. The city is running at full speed. But at night, the city starts to quiet down. The traffic slows. The buildings empty out. The streets go silent. And that's when a very specific part of the city wakes up. This part of the city doesn't deal with the outside world. It only deals with you, your memories, your emotions, your relationships, your fears, your regrets, your hopes, your unresolved problems. This part of the brain is like the most dedicated night shift worker you've ever seen. And the moment everything else goes quiet, it gets to work. It starts pulling out files, old conversations, recent events, unfinished emotional business, things you said, things people said to you, things you wish had gone differently, and it starts processing all of it. Now here's the part that will actually blow your mind. This isn't a malfunction. This isn't your brain doing something wrong. This is your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. Your brain genuinely believes that if it thinks about something long enough, hard enough, and from every possible angle, it will eventually find a solution. It's trying to protect you. It's trying to prepare you. It's trying to make sense of your world so that you feel safe. The problem is that your brain is using a logical problem-solving approach on problems that aren't logical at all. You can't think your way out of feeling embarrassed about something. You can't logic your way through grief. You can't solve anxiety with analysis. You can't find closure by replaying a conversation 50 times in your head at 2 in the morning. These aren't math problems with clean answers. These are emotional experiences that need to be felt, not fixed. But your brain doesn't know that difference, so it just keeps going, round and round and round, in circles that never reach an end. And you just lie there, getting more tired but less sleepy, getting more frustrated, and strangely, almost against your will, getting more and more trapped inside your own thoughts. Now let's talk about something that's going to make this feel very personal to you. Have you ever noticed that the thoughts that come at you feel so much bigger than they during the day? Something happens at 2 in the morning and it's like the end of the world, like an emergency, like something you absolutely have to solve right now. But then you wake in the morning and it doesn't feel nearly as intense. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like a problem at all. Why does that happen? There are actually 2 reasons, and both of them are fascinating. The first reason is cortisol. Cortisol is a hormone your body makes. Your body naturally produces more of it in the morning to help you wake up and face the day. Cortisol helps you feel alert. It helps you handle stress. It's part of what makes you feel capable and ready during daylight hours. But at night, cortisol levels drop. And when cortisol drops, everything feels heavier. Your emotional defense goes down. Your ability to see things rationally gets weaker. The things you could brush off during the day suddenly feel impossible to ignore. It's like your brain's security system powers down at night, and all the things that couldn't get through during the day suddenly come rushing in. The second reason is more. At night, you have no sensory input to compete with it. During the day, you have to fight for attention against everything else happening around you. The sounds, the visual stimulation, the conversations, the tasks. But at night, there's nothing else. Your thoughts have no competition, so they take over completely. A thought just whispered during the day becomes a shout at midnight. A worry that was barely noticeable in the afternoon becomes a full-scale crisis at 3 in the morning. It's not that your problems got bigger at night. It's that your ability to ignore them to weigh. And here's the twist that changes everything. Most people who overthink at night believe there is something wrong with them. They think they're too anxious, too sensitive, too weak, too broken. They look at other people who seem to fall asleep easily, and they wonder why they can't be like that. They try to stop thinking. They tell themselves to just relax, just let it go, just stop. But here's the cruel irony. The harder you try to stop a thought, the stronger that thought becomes. There's a famous psychological study where people were told one simple thing: do not think about a white bear. Almost immediately, every single person started thinking about a white bear. The moment you try to suppress a thought, your brain has to hold that thought in mind just to monitor whether you're still thinking about it. So by trying not to think about it, you're actually thinking about it more. This is called the ironic process theory, and it explains why telling yourself to just stop overthinking almost never works. Your brain treats suppression like a challenge. Push a thought away, and it pushes back twice as hard. Try to ignore an emotion, it gets louder. Try to force yourself to sleep, and you're more alert than ever. The very act of fighting your nighttime thoughts is what makes them stronger. So if fighting doesn't work, what does? This is where everything shifts. The answer is not to fight your thoughts. The answer is to give them somewhere to go. Let me explain this with a story. Imagine you have a friend who really needs to talk. They've been trying to get your attention all day, but you've been too busy. So they keep following you, tapping on your shoulder, trying to get you to listen, and every time they tap, you push them away. Not now. I'm busy. Stop bothering me. But they don't go away, because they really need to be heard. Now imagine that at the end of the day, you finally sit down. You look at your friend, and you say, "Okay, I'm listening. Tell me everything." They talk. You listen. And when they're done, they feel heard. And they leave. That's exactly what your nighttime thoughts are doing. They're not trying to torture you. They're trying to get your attention. They want to be acknowledged. They want to be processed. They want to feel heard. And the moment you actually give them that space, they quiet down. This is why journaling before bed works so powerfully. Not because writing magically solves your problems, but because your brain feels like the thoughts have been acknowledged and stored somewhere safe. When you write something down, your brain gets a signal. Okay. This has been recorded. We don't need to keep repeating it to make sure we don't forget it. Studies have actually shown that people who write down their worries and unfinished tasks before bed fall asleep significantly faster than people who don't, because the brain can finally let go. It's done its job. The thoughts have been heard. But journaling is just one piece of this, because here's something deeper that most people never realize. The reason your brain has so much to process at night is because you spent the whole day not processing anything. You went from distraction to distraction, from screen to screen, from notification to notification. You never gave yourself a single moment during the day to just feel what you were feeling. And so everything piled up. Think about what happens when you keep pushing clothes into a drawer and never folding them. You can close the drawer during the day. You can pretend it's fine. But eventually the drawer gets so full, it won't close anymore. Your mind is that drawer. And nighttime is when the drawer finally bursts open. The real solution to nighttime overthinking isn't just a bedtime trick. It's about how you live during the day. It's about actually stopping for a few minutes in the middle of your day and asking yourself how you actually feel. Not what you need to do, not what you have to respond to, not what you should be doing, but how you actually feel right now. That one small habit changes everything. Because when you process emotions in real time during the day, you don't carry them into the night. When you acknowledge a worry when it first appears instead of pushing it down, it doesn't explode at midnight. When you give your inner world just a little bit of attention during daylight hours, your brain doesn't feel the desperate need to force it all out in the dark. Now I want to tell you something that might be the most important thing in this entire video. There is a specific type of person who overthinks at night more than anyone else. And it's not anxious people, it's not sensitive people, it's not weak people. It's people who care deeply, people who feel things intensely, people who take their relationships seriously, people who want to do the right thing, people who are self-aware enough to notice their own mistakes and genuinely want to be better. Overthinking at night is almost never a sign of weakness. It's a sign of emotional depth. The people who never overthink at night are not necessarily more mentally healthy. A lot of the time, they're just less emotionally aware, less connected to themselves and others, less capable of deep feeling. The fact that you replay conversations means you care about how you made someone feel. The fact that you worry about the future means you take your life seriously. The fact that you can't stop thinking about a mistake means you have a conscience. None of that is broken. All of that is actually deeply human. The goal is not to stop caring. The goal is not to become someone who doesn't feel things. The goal is to learn how to hold all of that feeling without letting it consume you. And that's a skill you can actually learn. Let's talk about the practical side of this now, because understanding why you overthink is powerful, but you also need tools. The first tool is called the thought dump. Before you go to bed, take a piece of paper, not your phone, an actual piece of paper, and spend 10 minutes writing down every single thought that's in your head. Don't organize it. Don't try to make it neat. Don't judge what you write. Just get it all out. Every worry, every regret, everything you need to do tomorrow, every unresolved feeling, every conversation you keep replaying, every fear, every hope. Just dump it all onto the paper. When you're done, close the notebook and say to yourself out loud or in your head, I have acknowledged all of this. It's written down. I don't need to carry it anymore tonight. This sounds simple, but it is powerfully effective because you've given your brain what it wants. Acknowledgement, documentation, proof that the thoughts were heard, and your brain can finally let go. The second tool is called the 5-second rule of emotions. During the day, whenever you notice yourself feeling something uncomfortable, don't immediately reach for your phone. Don't immediately distract yourself. Instead, give yourself just 5 seconds to notice the feeling. Put your hand on your chest. Take one breath and ask yourself, what am I actually feeling right now? You don't have to solve it. You don't have to analyze it. You don't have to fix it. Just notice it. Name it. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling embarrassed. I'm feeling frustrated. That's it. Just naming it. Research has shown that simply naming an emotion reduces its intensity almost immediately, because your brain moves from the emotional center to the logical center the moment you put language to a feeling. The feeling doesn't go away completely, but it stops controlling you. And most importantly, it gets processed in the moment instead of being stored for later. The third tool is about light and timing. Your brain's sleep system is deeply connected to light. When you see natural sunlight during the day, especially in the morning, it sets your internal clock. It tells your brain when it's time to be alert and when it's time to wind down. But when you spend your whole day under artificial light and in dark indoor spaces, and then you're on your phone with a bright screen right before bed, you confuse your brain completely. Your brain doesn't know if it's day or night, and a confused brain is a restless brain. Get outside in the morning. Even 10 minutes of natural morning light makes a significant difference. And in the hour before bed, lower the lights in your room. Reduce screen brightness. Give your brain the signal that night is coming, that it's time to slow down, that the day is over. When your brain gets that signal clearly, it transitions into rest mode much more smoothly. And those nighttime thoughts have much less power over you. Let's go deeper now, because there's one more layer to this that most people never talk about. A lot of nighttime overthinking isn't really about the things you think it's about. You think you're replaying that conversation because of what was said. But really, underneath it, you're trying to answer a much bigger question. Am I good enough? Am I loved? Am I safe? Do I belong? These are the questions that drive almost all human anxiety, and they are ancient questions. Questions that have been hardwired into human brains for thousands of years. Because our ancestors lived in tribes, and being accepted by the tribe meant survival. Being rejected by the tribe meant death. So the human brain evolved to be obsessively concerned with social acceptance, with how others see us, with whether we belong, with whether we're safe within our relationships. That's why a small, awkward moment in a social interaction can feel so disproportionately important at night. Your logical brain knows it wasn't a big deal. But your ancient emotional brain is asking, does this mean I'm not accepted? Does this mean I don't belong? Does this mean I'm not safe? And those questions feel urgent, because evolutionarily, they were urgent. So when you lie awake at night replaying something that happened, you're not being irrational. You're being deeply, profoundly human. You're trying to answer the oldest questions that humans have ever asked. The key is to recognize what's really happening. The next time you can't sleep because you're replaying something, try asking yourself, what is the real fear underneath this thought? Usually you'll find something that sounds like, I'm afraid they don't like me. I'm afraid I'm not good enough. I'm afraid I made a mistake that can't be fixed. I'm afraid of being alone. When you can see the real fear, it loses some of its power. Because then you can actually talk to that fear instead of just running in circles around the surface thought. You can say to yourself, I hear you. I understand you're scared. But right now, in this moment, I am safe. I have survived hard things before. I will be okay. And slowly, gently, the thoughts begin to quiet. Here's the final truth. The reason you overthink at night is not because you're weak. It's not because you're broken. It's not because something is wrong with you. It's because you are a feeling, caring, aware human being who was never taught how to be with their own mind. School taught you math and history and science, but nobody ever sat you down and said, here is how to process an emotion. Here is how to handle a difficult thought. Here is what to do when your mind won't stop. So you figured it out the hard way, like most people do. But now you know. Your nighttime thoughts are not your enemies. They are parts of you that have been waiting patiently all day to finally be heard. And the moment you stop fighting them and start listening to them, something remarkable happens. They get quieter, not all at once, not perfectly, but slowly, steadily, they calm down, because they finally feel safe. Because you finally started listening. Because you finally gave yourself the one thing you were trying to give your brain all along. A moment of stillness, a moment of honesty, a moment of compassionate attention. That's all your overthinking mind has ever wanted. And it was you, all along, who had the power to give it. So here's what I want to know. What is the one thought that always comes back to find you at 3 in the morning? The one that shows up no matter how tired you are? Drop it in the comments below. You don't have to explain it. You don't have to justify it. Just write it down, because I promise you this. Whatever it is you write, someone else reading the comments will see it and think, that's exactly what I think about too. You are not as alone in your mind as you think you are, not even close.